Now, the Mexican gray wolf once roamed throughout most of Arizona. However, persecution and poisoning of these animals began shortly after Europeans settled in the area, driving wolves closer to extinction.
In 1998, a small group of wolves were reintroduced into parts of eastern Arizona, but not without controversy. Xavier Rangel talks about the results of a public meeting held Tuesday.
A public hearing in Pine Top yesterday attracted 500 people, each with their own opinion on this issue. Today, we talked to Kim Crumbo of the Grand Canyon Wildlife Council, Jim DeVos, representing the Arizona Game and Fish, and Tom Mackin of Arizona Sportsman Wildlife Conservation. So I want to start off with Kim Crumbo. You just were at a meeting that was in support of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service's proposal to expand the Mexican gray wolf's recovery area. Is that correct?
Well, yeah, there was a meeting in Pine Top, Arizona. It's a rural community just adjacent to Show Low, and the purpose of the hearings was to explain the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, it's a federal agencies, proposals to do two things. One is to delist the gray wolf pretty much nationwide, and the other one is to provide for a relisting of the Mexican wolf, which is as a endangered subspecies of gray wolf. It would be listed as endangered with certain caveats that we are not real happy with, and that one of those would be expanding the area to list it as a non-essential experimental population. We don't want to see that. We want to see it listed as an endangered species, and at the very least, an essential population, not non-essential.
Okay, and I know that Tom Mackin is here, and you're against this, or how do you feel about this?
Sportsmen, and I'll just use that term very, very broadly, are generally in support. We understand the role that apex predators play in overall wildlife activities, and we are in support, but unfortunately, since 1998, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has run into continuing problems with the current management plan for Mexican wolves here in Arizona. And we want to be sure that the new plan and the expanded territories are consistent with the goals that everybody can live with.
Okay, and then we have Jim DeVos. How does Arizona Game and Fish weigh in on this debate?
Well, we weigh in it from two primary standpoints. One is we have statutory authority to manage wildlife in Arizona, and under a provision of the Endangered Species Act, we have a Section 6 agreement with the Fish and Wildlife Service, which also covers our role in managing endangered species as well. So we have that statutory responsibility. We're also cooperators with the Fish and Wildlife Service as we develop new rules, modified rules to enhance recovery of not only the Mexican gray wolf, the Mexican wolf, but also several other endangered species as well. The role of the 10J that Kim spoke about, we think, is a crucial issue, and certainly one of the prime focuses of, I won't say disagreement, but different viewpoints. From the state's perspective, and from many of the people that live on the land, the fact that we're allowed to introduce endangered species under the 10J rule starts to develop some social tolerance. Imagine if you're a landowner and the Fish and Wildlife Service wants to put in a fully endangered species, and your concern obviously is going to be, well, what can I do with my land? How's it going to affect my ability? Under the 10J, they're protected, they're managed. It gives the flexibility, though, to implement some management options that could include removal because of excessive depredations, and that excessive is certainly in the eye of the beholder. But our view is wolves belong in the landscape. We want them where they ranged historically. It comes down to some of the issues in the proposal is where and how many, and that's yet to be defined. So it's really difficult for the state to say, yep, we like this, because we're not sure what the target really is.
I want to apologize. We are out of time. I just want to inform everyone that the comment period on this issue ends December 17th, and you can go to our website, naztoday.com, for more information. Thank you all for being here.